Welcome to Fast Cars, Fast Girls. We are your IndyCar experience. Well, it's the race review of Mid Ohio,
Yep.
Season 5, Episode 10.
Ooh. Oh
How is
my
it?
God.
We're already into July of this year, which seems crazy.
Yeah. I, I don't
Oh,
know. This has been one of those weird years where it just like flies.
it has really flown by. But yeah, we got to spend the 4th of July with a bunch of fellow Americans and a
Watching
Canadian
and I was to say watch and
and
Canadians we
our
and
token Canadian.
we also even hung out with a token Englishman for a little bit.
That's true. That is very true.
Look at us trying to heal the wounds from the
Of
Revolutionary
colonialism.
War of colonialism. Oh Lord.
Oh. And it was Canada Day on Thursday.
So it felt appropriate to hang out with a Canadian over the weekend.
It did. It did
Yeah.
indeed. Oh, so Mid Ohio, a great time was
Mhm.
had by all. We will get into all of it. So
But
much of it
first,
we cannot talk about on the air.
because it involves minors.
And just I mean, you guys know what we're like. That's
Part of it is, I know it sounds like cheeky, but like part of it is you kind of just had to be there, right? Like,
yeah,
sorry.
I mean, inside jokes aren't funny when you try to explain them. So
Like, we're not lying when we're like, if you come to a race, come hang out with us, because like it's just free fun.
it is. It
Mm.
is. It's a good time. Oh, all right. Well, I
Guess
guess
we
there's
should talk about
there's
the race
yeah
first.
no other way to do this than start from the back and work our way up.
Much
Um,
like the Americans did in the Revolutionary. That's not true. I don't know.
oh well, starting in 16th, finishing in 26th.
Ooh.
Ed Jones.
Ed Jones, and might as well go ahead and say, starting fourth, finishing 25th, Will Power, because well, they were our lap one.
No, they were
They
actually
were the lap four, I guess. They weren't the lap one,
yeah
but they were out first.
yeah
So
because
yeah,
we didn't make it
Did-
through a
lap four.
single green lap until lap 8.
Yeah,
Because
and
lap 1 we
yeah,
we had an incident, and then as
the
soon as they went
restart
green again on lap 4, we had another incident.
because we just I don't know mm,
This is why we
it
can't
got to
have
the
nice
point
things.
where I was like, gentlemen, um, stop starting your engines and maybe just drive. Like maybe just drive. I don't know, guys. I
This is why we can't have nice things.
why we can't. Hold on, I gotta 2 seconds. No, I'm hitting buttons. It's not helping me.
I mean, that's just all I want to say to them. Like, this is why we can't have nice things. Get your shit together. And then only because, and I will say this, we've had really exciting races at Mid Ohio, and this was not one of them.
It wasn't.
It wasn't, and I think it's because everybody went buck wild on laps 1 and 4, and then they just tightened it up for the rest of the race. Like,
And they were like, "Oh no, we can't do this again."
let me be a little more careful. Like, no, first off, you don't come out there throwing bows on laps 1 and 4 and then just decide to put your little boy pants back on. Like, no.
No,
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 thank you.
no.
But I mean, there were some interesting parts to the race, but it definitely was not our most exciting Mid Ohio race.
Here's, because I watched the replay. Here's how you know, and yeah, we'll continue on through the list. But here's how you know that the race was not exciting. It was a fine race. It just wasn't. We've been
Well,
spoiled. We talked
and
about
we
that
talked,
before.
yep, we talked about it. We've been spoiled with some really fucking great races this season.
Is that during the live broadcast, because Mid Ohio is the last race, there's, like almost a month break now. They were talking about what all of the drivers are going to do on their month off during the race. They're like, yeah, like Grosjean family's coming over and they're going to tour this, and like so and so is doing that.
And his sister.
Well, they didn't. I don't know if Grosjean has a sister. But it was Kevin Lee and not Lee Diffie. So
Okay, okay.
But yeah, they were like talking about what everybody's gonna do during the summer break. There was at least 10 minutes, no lie, about the different like the different American Legion patches on Jimmy Johnson's car.
Wow.
That's how you like. I was like, man, I know that this race was slow, but Jesus,
That's a whole thing.
that's the whole thing.
That
Maybe it wasn't 10 minutes, but it really felt like 10.
I get it.
Mm.
I get it.
So anyway, back to the
Yeah.
drivers. Yeah. So I'm sorry, Ed and Will were lap 4 because
Yes.
Will was doing some really great racing actually on that restart. He and Dixon were like, yeah. And then
Yes,
Dixon kind of hip checked him. Dixon hip checked Power. Power dropped a wheel, spun right at like a blind hill, and Ed just went like, damn right into Will.
Yep.
That shit don't buff out into Will.
It does not. So, yep. That was all she wrote for those
Yep.
guys.
Yeah.
Next up, which we will actually talk about in a group as well, the next two. Starting 10th, finishing 24th, Ryan Hunter-Reay. Starting 13th, finishing 23rd, Felix Rosenquist. And James Hinchcliffe got collected in this as well. That was the lap 1 incident.
Yeah, so
lap 1, turn 5.
Lap 1, turn 5. RHR kind of checked up a bit, so Hinch got into him. Grosjean actually was the one who checked up that Rosenquist kind of went into. Everybody's just checking up and checking in. Stop it, guys.
And you were listening to Rossi's radio, which
it's my favorite radio to listen
to. Him and Rob Edwards.
Yeah, so like Rob came on and he was like, yellow, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, Ryan and James got caught up in that. And Rossi goes, that's unfortunate. Like, just not even in a giggly tone. Like, he literally was like, that's unfortunate. And Rob Edwards comes back and goes, yes, that is unfortunate.
And that was it.
That was it. That was the end of discussion. Yeah, that is unfortunate. And it's true. And then, like, Rosenquist got back out, but maybe the app was buggy, but it felt like every 5 laps he got blue flagged.
Dude.
Just every now I was like, did he get, because you know that if you have the IndyCar app up at the top, it'll throw up penalties as well as like so and so improved to this position.
Even though it does say improved even when they actually get worse.
Yeah, that drives me up a wall. Keep using that word. You do not
think it means what you think it means.
And like every other like lap, it felt like blue flag number 7, and I was like, is the app bugging because I'm gonna have liver damage?
Right? You were like, blue flag. I'm like, quit looking at it.
I wasn't even like really, really looking at it. It just popped up. I was just looking at shit
all the time. All the time. Oh. The next up, starting 22nd, finishing 25th, Jimmy Johnson.
Hey, Jimmy! Look at you.
Or wait, did I say that backwards? But yeah, he finished 22nd. He gained 3 spots.
22nd. He did.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point though, he was holding up a line of cars in which Rossi was one of them, and so we all knew I was about to throw hands. Just,
oh yeah, there were some good quotes when people were going around him.
Oh, that's right. Didn't the Meyer Shank Racing team have a great little exchange?
Yeah. Yeah. Mike Shank came over and said to Harvey, the 48's in front of you. We'll make short work of him.
I also just love it when people say we'll make short work.
I do too. I enjoy that phrase. I enjoy it a lot. Oh. Next up, because this is actually going to create a drink for us, I should ask, what are you drinking this evening?
Well, I am drinking an Angry Orchard, one of the Angry Orchards we had left over.
Excellent. I didn't have any of them. I was like, yeah, I'll have a few. I didn't even have any. I am drinking Old Barrel Port from Brown County Winery.
Oh, well, damn! I didn't know we was getting fancy ass.
I felt fancy. And it's 20%. So
Damn.
yeah, I only have I only started with half a bottle because I had 2 glasses the other day, and really that's all you need.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, yeah. You know
really
how
don't
I
wanna
mean, like a regular port I don't love, but like when you're at a small winery, how their ports almost have that taste like they've been aged in a bourbon barrel, or
Yes.
yeah, it's got
Yes.
that kind of taste to it.
Also, we can have this discussion offline, but I do just want to say that whilst looking at the alcohol aisle in the CVS, because that's how classy we are,
Damn right.
Oliver Winery now has a lemon. Um, shit,
Moscato?
Moscato. Yeah, because they've got
Well,
different types of newer
I hate
Moscatos. We discuss. I know it's just weird, but
that is. I mean, I hate lemon, but that's interesting.
interesting. Anyway,
Hmm.
back to drivers and alcohol.
So, because this is a drink, started 21st, finished 21st.
There you
Hey,
go.
consistency. Dalton Kellett.
Thy name is Dalton Kellett?
Yeah, I don't think so.
It feels weird to say. Actually,
Starting.
he actually also though was kind of caught up a little bit in that first
Yeah,
kerfuffle because his like under tray got real messed up.
his
Take that as
undercarriage.
you will. His under tray.
I just think undercarriage is funnier.
It is, but under tray's funny too.
It is. Starting 26th, finishing 20th. Ryan Norman.
Hey, look, the rookie improved in his first race.
He did. I mean, we
you.
just didn't really hear a whole bunch about him all weekend.
Well, that's because 120-time NASCAR champion Jimmy Johnson was in the race.
Excuse you, it was 356.
That's right, it was 356 by the time, and he invented the NASCAR. I don't know if you all know that. Don't come at me. I won't even rise to it. I'll just ignore it.
This is one of the inside jokes. This is one of the inside jokes. Oh.
I feel like this is an inside joke that's going to continue on through all of the season, though.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, because he's won so many races and championships. Next up, starting 23rd, finishing 19th, which really does not reflect the level of driving that he did.
No.
At all. Jack Harvey.
And like if you think about it, so and he fucked in quals, so he had a bad spin, which made him impede a car. So when you impede a car, you lose your fastest lap. So he had a shit qualifying.
Yep.
But he actually had like the fastest car of the race. He was on the lead lap. I think he was one of those trying to do the earlier pit strategy, and that actually screwed him because he had to pull in for a splash of gas right at the end.
Yeah, and that's what screwed him, is that he needed just a scotch at the very end. Because he pitted
like
on lap 3 when it went back green again.
Well, I think everybody pitted, but then in like the real cycle of pits, he was like the first person to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, which is a strategy, just didn't work out.
Well, and we all thought there was going to be another yellow. And had there been, he would have been fine.
Yeah. I mean, usually.
I mean, a splash of fuel says to me, like one more lap of a yellow and he would have been okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just, they didn't get the, Yep. I mean, it happens. It's unfortunate.
It happens.
That's
sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it is unfortunate because he did have a good race. He did. Starting in 17th, finishing in 18th, Max Chilton.
I don't have much to say except I enjoy Max, but as a few of us discussed, sometimes we forget that Max Chilton races in the series.
See, I don't, because I just enjoy him so much.
I do too, but like all of a sudden he shows up and you're like, oh shit, Max is at this race.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Oh, starting 9th, finishing 17th, which is unfortunate.
Yes.
James Hinchcliffe.
Got up into the back of Ryan. But he did finish ahead of Ryan, so there's that, I guess.
There's that.
There's that, yep.
Oh, started 11th, finished 16th. What the hell? Rinus VK.
Well, now if you remember, at about lap 54, Renus took a little bit of a scenic route. Just took a little bit of a scenic route.
That's right, he did.
Because we were all like, who's off? And I had my camera, and I was like, son of a bitch. VK.
Damn it.
But speaking of a real American showing some real grit on the 4th of July.
Damn right, with his mullet and all.
Teammates fighting right next to each other.
Connor Daly.
There you go. Started 24th, finished 15th. Great race. Made up a hell of a lot of positions.
Yeah, he did have a great race.
Fun fact, every position Connor gains, bald eagle is born.
Yep, that is 100% true.
100% true, guys.
100% true.
They all have mullets.
Every time Connor passes a car, a bald eagle is born.
Yes. Yep. All with mullets.
I mean, the bald eagle is kind of the original mullet.
That's true, though.
It is business in the front and party in the back.
100%.
It's all short feathers up front and nice and long in the back there. Yep. It is. It's America's original mullet.
It's America's mullet?
The official mullet of the United States.
Of the United States of America.
Next up, starting 15th, finishing 14th, Simon Pagano, which breaks my heart.
What happened? Do you know what happened? Because like at the first pit stop, the car was good. Do you know what happened? I mean, he gained a position, so I guess it was like he shit the bed, but
no, it wasn't like he shit the bed. He just didn't have the speed that he should have had on the straight areas.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, where usually that's not an issue for Chevys.
Yeah, that's true.
Just didn't have the speed on the straights. And Hondas tend to be faster on the turns. It's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. The Chevys are faster on the straights, Hondas are faster on the turns. So yeah, I mean, but nothing, not like a singular event to point or anything. So yeah,
sucks. That just sucks even more. It's kind of, you feel better if you can point to something like this is why instead of like
we can fix this or when it's just like it's like, well, that's even worse.
That hurts somehow.
Right. Yeah, it's like salt in the wound. Next up, starting 2nd, finishing 13th, Colton Herta.
Colton apparently has picked up the fuel probe issue that haunts Andretti Autosport because he had a 25-second pit stop because of the fuel probe. And he ain't no shame, he definitely got spots back, but Jesus.
I was losing my goddamn mind during that pit stop.
25 seconds. Who's sticking like silly putty in the fuel probes at Andretti Autosport? I just need a name, I guess, at this point. I'll just go sit outside.
If you think back to some of the conversations last weekend, I think you can come up with a few names.
In my heart of hearts, I want that to be true.
I mean, coincidence?
Maybe. I don't know.
Just saying.
Possibly.
Just putting it out there. Yeah.
Anyway, on to Scott McLaughlin.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I want to talk a little bit more about Colton Herta.
Okay.
So, Derek from Toronto Motorsports hung out with us a lot and gave away some sunglasses, and I actually got complimented on my Colton Herta sunglasses yesterday.
Whoa, look at you.
I know.
are blue. I have the Hinch ones. They are green. Tinted lenses, green orange.
Yeah, it's like
It's
Derek
more
kept
green
saying
than orange.
it is. Yeah. But yeah, no, they're both pretty awesome
Yes.
sunglasses. But yeah. And I Colton Herta's radio is one of my favorite things.
Uh, Honestly, like a few people are like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to a race and like have the radio on." I'm like, just put on Colton's. Honestly, like
Oh,
it's damn entertaining.
it's amazing. And so this was the quote from this race. His spotter was telling him about a car
On the
that was
outside.
on his outside and just keeps saying it over and over. And Colton just comes back and says, I can fucking see him. Stop talking to me.
And
And
I get it.
I feel that mood in my soul. Like, I've been there. I get it. I fucking see him. Stop talking to me. I believe I've said similar things at my job.
I mean, I know that I have. I get it.
I get it. Oh, I just love it, especially from young Colton Herta.
Young Colton Herta.
Oh, too funny. Next up, starting 14th, finishing 12th, Scott McLaughlin.
Hey, Scott keeps, he's a rookie year. He has races where he has just flashes of brilliance, but yet, this isn't a bad race for him. He did make up spots and he finished. So, and keep
And
plugging away, Scotty.
keep at it. And that PPG livery is sharp.
It's sharp. I love the paint streaks down the side. Like when that
Love
first
it.
came out, I was like, I love that paint on
Ooh,
the side. And every time I see it, I'm like, oof, snazzy.
yeah. No, I'm with you. It looks great.
It does.
It looks
Yes.
fantastic. Next up, starting 12th, finishing 11th, Sebastian Bourdais. Well, he didn't break any
Who?
records, but he also was not taking any shit from anybody.
Well, he did get penalized for blocking.
Well,
McLaughlin actually.
yeah.
Which is it. So when you block, if you get called for blocking, you get penalized. 9.999 times out of 10, you have to get back the position, or they call it yielding the position. Fine, but by the time race control made the call on Bourdais, McLaughlin had been passed by Grosjean, so Bourdais had to actually like go whoop whoop and like all the way back to two positions instead of just the one because McLaughlin had gotten past. It's weird.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
I mean, I guess it's the only way you could do it because you couldn't be like, "Hey, Scott McLaughlin, come around Grosjean and Bourdais," because now Grosjean is being like weirdly penalized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just interesting to me. I sat and watched that a couple of times and I was like, there's no other way to do this. Okay.
No.
Anyway. This is what I do, people. I just look at the penalties and figure out what happened. Still don't know about Felix's penalty.
What did it?
Well, that was the one where initially during the race,
Oh,
like
it said that he drove over equipment.
he drove over somebody else's equipment. Which I was like, that's a whole
special
thing.
skill.
That's a special skill, but then it was just pit speed violation. It's like that's completely different. Like if it was running over somebody else's equipment initially and they're like, JK, it was your own, then that's just a pit lane violation. But then it was just speeding. What the hell? Does race control need to get their eyes checked? Yes.
Let's not even start on race control.
I know.
We don't have the time for that.
We don't. It's late.
Oh. Let's just not.
Yeah.
Next up, starting 19th, rounding out our top 10, Takuma Sato.
Yeah. Strangely the lowest finishing Rahal Letterman Lanigan car.
Yeah. Yes, he was. Starting 22nd, finishing 9th, Santino Ferrucci.
Made up hella spots.
Hella spots.
That's also a very. I like the Hy-Vee livery on that car with like the Mountain Dew
I
shit on
enjoy
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Mountain Dew green with the red. It doesn't look super Christmassy because it's
It
more of a neon
doesn't
green.
look super Christmassy. It
Yeah.
doesn't, which is
Because you
cool.
have to be careful with your reds and greens and how you mix them.
Gotta be very careful. No,
But it looks
he
good.
had a good race. I know they're going to be at the road course at IMS. I believe they're also going to be at Nashville.
Mm. Well, hell yeah.
Yeah. But between then, I think he's doing some NASCAR shit, so I don't care.
I mean, yeah, no, we don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no, we don't.
Nah.
All right, starting 20th, finishing 8th, Pato Award also made up hella spots.
Also made up hella spots because he had a shit qualifying. So, and
Not enough
I
for me
appreciate
to have
it.
picked him on my fucking fantasy team this week. I wasted so much money on him too. And I have been like bottom barrel budgeting. And I was like, all right, I'm going to spend some cash. And then he does this shit.
Yeah, but here's what I like about Pato. Like he owns it. Because he basically was like, yeah, no, my qualifying was shit. That one's on me. And then the race came and he was like, I should probably make up these spots though.
I mean, he owns it, but I don't see him paying me my $5.
I mean, maybe if you asked. He got that Mission Chips money. What if he was like, I can't pay you in cash, but I can pay you in like Mission Foods tortillas and those cool
Done.
race car chips?
Done.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right. I'll broker this deal.
Yeah. I'll take 5 bags of chips.
Yes. Big bags. Let's
Big
be clear.
bags, yeah.
Not those little freebies they hand out. Okay.
No, somos animales.
Yeah. See.
I want the big bags. Oh, starting 18th, also a hard charger, finishing 7th, Roman Grosjean.
Yeah. All right, Romain. Get some.
Get it?
I think he and Scott, although I think McLaughlin, Scotty Mac, I think Grosjean is a bit more outgoing is not the word I want to use. They've kind of shed that like we're rookies and like we have to like mind our P's and Q's, and now they're like, you know what? I'm just going for it.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I've been around a couple of tracks. Like, he's like, it's like when you get your sea legs on a boat.
Yes. Yes. And it's
He's
like,
like,
I'm
all right,
gonna.
I'm settled in.
I'm settled in. I'm gonna fuck some
try
shit up.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna just. I'm gonna do my own thing now because I know what I'm doing.
Yep. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I think Scotty Mac's similar, but he's a little more subdued still.
Yeah. Well, and he's on Penske, so it's like a little.
Well, that too. And I think Grosjean has more open wheel versus Scotty Mac's V8.
That is very true.
Wheel, so
that is very true. So I mean,
but he's aggressive. Don't get me wrong, but he's not like Grosjean is like whatever, gloves are off, let's go. Scotty Mac's like the gloves are off, we will be going, but maybe not at 100%.
Yeah, he's like, but let's just take a beat for a minute, guys.
Yeah. Let's pause, guys. Y'all, let's go get
guys.
some Maccas. Guys, let's just calm down.
Oh, starting 8th, finishing 6th, best finishing Rahal Letterman Lanigan driver, Graham Rahal.
In the hometown race.
Hometown hero.
So there you go. Making up 2 spots, Graham. There you go.
He fought hard for those 2 spots and to maintain like
this is the track he always really does put on a great showing at this track.
He does. I mean, he's got a shit ton of experience there.
Well, that too, yeah.
But yeah, no, he always puts on a great show. It's always a good race to bet on Graham and and to watch Graham.
Yes.
That in Detroit, honestly, Mid Ohio and Detroit are like his bread and butter.
God, yeah.
Yeah, he does very well at both of those. Well, starting 6th, finishing 5th, Alexander Rossi.
He and Dixon gave us some fun moments, some real fun strategery moments. Actually, let me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got worried because Scott had a lot A lot of push to pass. A lot more than Rossi. And Rossi ended up making Scott burn through his push to pass. So I think at the end of the race, Alex ended up with more push to pass left than Scott. And I was like, oh, yes.
Quite the cat and mouse between the two of them.
I mean, it's not a podium, but in my mind, that felt like a podium, getting Scott Dixon a burn-up push to pass.
I mean, it's a win.
It's a win.
It's a win in and of itself.
It's
it may not
bragging
come with a
rights,
trophy, but it's bragging rights for sure. Yep. It ain't bragging if it's true.
Yep.
Oh. Starting 5th, finishing 4th, Scotty G.
I mean, see my comments above.
Yes. See previous answer.
You mean Mr. Mid-Ohio?
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a drink.
I didn't even hear them say that once about him.
I heard it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
It was on the broadcast during the practice that you guys forgot about me.
Okay, we didn't forget. There was a miscommunication between the two golf carts.
No, because they were like, everybody's here, and I wasn't there, which means you forgot that I'm part of everybody.
There's a lot of yelling about who was and was not coming.
I know, and I was like, I'm coming, but yeah, nope. And then I feel like during quals they said it a couple times too.
They probably said it during quals 100 times, yeah.
So, but yeah, not a bunch during the race, but yeah, leading up to the race, they definitely did.
Okay, cool.
So to round out our podium, starting 7th, finishing 3rd, Alex Polo.
Still in the championship lead by 39 points. I'm feeling good about my $5.
You should. You should feel good about that.
3rd place, and he had a longer pit stop than normal, like mid-ish race.
He did.
Man,
yeah, he did. But he pulled it off.
Shit.
He pulled it off, though.
Did.
And then starting 3rd, finishing 2nd, Marcus Ericsson.
Which, this is something I did not know, but they talked about it. Coming into this race, he had the most on-track passes than anyone else in the season.
Fascinating. Like, really?
Like, I even went back and listened. I was like, okay, Marcus.
Okay, Derry, okay.
Okay, they're okay. They're okay. I remember, who was it? Somebody who swung by. They're like, Ericsson and the team felt like with another 5 laps that probably could have gotten Joey New.
Oh yeah.
I mean, which might be true, but it's an 80-lap race, and so if you don't have it in 80 laps, well,
I mean, it ain't 85.
Right? Like, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, not in racing.
That's true. I mean, it's like that 2 years ago with Rosenquist and Dixon, where it's like, even Dixon was like, this is where he made his mistake, and had it been a couple more laps, he would have had me.
Yeah. And that's true. I mean, I love it when people say, yeah, he could have had him in a couple more laps. Absolutely, you could have. You just didn't have those laps, though.
But this is where the race ends.
Yep. Nope. They already flew them checkers. We're not going around again, okay?
Right. The fat lady has sung. It's OV.
Oh, you want to do 5 more laps? No, I don't think so.
But no, he had a great race.
He did.
And he did make up some speed, because for a while Newgarden just felt like he was so far out in front.
Well, and I think that's the Penske. I think that might be the Penske, because like Elio had the same. Well, so did Rossi, though. You get that clean air, especially on a road course, and you can just go.
Yeah, Rossi loves to do that shit at Long Beach.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, our winner.
There was
also
one.
Our pole winner. Starting in first, finishing first. Joey New.
Finally broke that shit, whatever he was having with his races.
Finally got rid of the yips.
Yeah, Jesus. Also, and this is something that I learned from none other than Teresa Helliker, who now listens to all of our podcasts. So that's scary. Yeah. That Joseph's win was on the 50th anniversary of the first Penske win.
Oh, that is interesting.
I was like, Okay, that's kind of cool.
That is a very interesting factoid.
Right?
Huh.
Okay. I
Good for him.
appreciated that. Yeah. And it broke his weird luck, so there you go. And on 4th of July, an American boy won.
I mean, America.
It's the same, but remember like Takuma Sato won the 500 and people got, like a couple of people got bent out of shape because it's Memorial Day.
Yes.
Not that I matter, I care, but like, goodness, I'm trying, like, if Erickson had won them and like, no, somebody somewhere would have been mad.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. I agree. Somebody who is oh, what's the word for people who are afraid of newcomers? Xenophobic.
Xenophobic.
Yeah. Some xenophobic asshole would have been out of shape somewhere if it was.
Because an American didn't win on the 4th of July like it's scripted. This is not the WWE. We do not script our races.
Do not script our races.
Anyway.
Anyway, we didn't have to deal with that.
No.
I will say, so that was the race.
Yes.
But speaking of just America, this is one of my favorite things because now we're going to talk about the off-track activities.
I was going to say, are you about to mention the other racing series that we watched?
I wasn't. I was just going to say what I loved about the weekend is that we rode around the golf cart at night, pretty much every night, and like just drove by in different campsites. And we drive by, we'd just yell America, and everybody would just cheer or yell America back.
It was really fun.
It was super fun, and everybody was super into the decorating. And I mean, like, we had so much shit, and we didn't even podium.
I know.
I'm a little upset about that because I never saw them come by to judge.
I don't know if
won.
No, did somebody win? Was there an actual competition, or was it just more like, here's the theme?
No, because Honda, it's sponsored by Honda Camping.
Honda's giving shit up.
Yeah, and so they always give away free shit.
Damn, we had like 3 Honda camping generators in the compound.
No shit, right?
I'm sorry, commune. We didn't have the fence up.
Yes, we did not have the fence up. But yeah, I just really enjoyed that you didn't, like, you could just walk by any campsite and be like, America! And you'd be greeted with,
cheers you
woo!
back.
Or yeah, fuck yeah! It was great.
It was great.
It was great. I'll let you chat a little bit about the other racing series we watched.
I'm sorry, just me, like, speaking of things that are American, I was like, oh, do you mean trucks jumping off ramps during a race? Because that's American.
That's American as fuck. Oh, the stadium super trucks.
Just, they are legit.
Awesome.
They are insane, and every single person turns into a 5-year-old because they hit that jump, and everybody's just like, woo! And then just giggling and have a shit-eating grin on their face.
And everybody wants to be in one and drive one. It's like, yes, I want to be a race car driver now.
Or just do like a hot lap because everybody's like, man, I'm sure it'll, like, you crawl out of that thing just hurting in every joint, but I'm gonna do a hot lap. And I was like, right, we all do.
As long as there's a little give in your safety,
I'm sure it'll be fine, but it'll be a little jarring, I bet.
A little bit, but like, as long as you're not like, super like squeezed into the seat, as long as there's a little give, I feel like it wouldn't be too bad.
But it was great. We saw 2 races. One of them did end in a fight, I don't think.
Yes, it did.
Hands were thrown, okay? That's how America was got. Okay, there was road rage.
Somebody snatched a fucking fire extinguisher and was walking back to hit a guy with a fire extinguisher, and the corner marshal was like, just walked up and was like, nope.
No, give it back. Just like, nope.
Nope, not today, not on my watch.
That's a lot of paperwork I don't want to deal with.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. One guy threw the other guy's steering wheel, so then the other guy threw that guy's helmet, both of which are super expensive pieces of equipment. I mean, after the helmet, then he went for the fire extinguisher, and I was like, wow, this escalated quickly. We went from vandalism to you're gonna kill somebody.
Right, like That
Death,
really jumped up a notch.
yeah, like blunt force trauma. Although he did kind of hold the hose like he was just going to spray him with it.
I would have been on. Okay, that would have been actually quite funny. Just.
I really would have been.
Oh,
Now I'm kind of mad
Lord.
at that commercial. Let them
Yeah.
fight.
I mean, I get it. He was like, if he kills him, I'm gonna have to fill out like 18 paperworks, and I don't want to. It's the holiday weekend.
Like, is he really gonna spray him, or is he gonna hit him in the fucking head with that? Because if he hits him in the head, I'm definitely never getting hired here again.
Yeah, like that's what went through his mind. He was like, be funny, but the risk reward is just not paying off right now.
Nope. That was fantastic.
So that was the first race. The second race, which happened after the IndyCar race, the poor last little red truck. I don't know what happened on the first couple laps, but he messed something up, so he was just way behind. And so every time he came,
Oh, I was just gonna. So he just started fucking around.
Yeah, by the time he would hit the keyhole, he would just fuck around, man. He did burnouts. He was like fishtailing in the grass. Man, we were loving him in the keyhole.
We're cheering him on. He's waving. He's loving it. Oh my gosh. He just came around. He just fucked around the whole race because he was like, I'm in last place. Why not? Like, he knows what they're there for. They are there for pure, raw entertainment.
And he's not winning, but he's going to win the popular vote, okay?
Damn right. He's Mr. Congeniality.
God, that was great.
Oh, that was fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, speaking of the racing series, we can jump into more of our off-track activities. So we had 2 events at this race. And if you missed out on going, well, you should never miss Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, like you shouldn't. I feel like that's on you guys.
That's 100% on you. But yeah, so we got to meet up with Random Diane, which I love that handle. And her husband again, who we met at Road America for the first time, and then of course all our usual race family and friends and all that jazz. And so we had an unplugged, where we actually the Bulls came by, so we got to see Doug and Beth and Carter.
Yep.
So that was cool. Carter just graduated high school. So we got to chit chat with them for a little bit, had a good time. Friends came by, had some good music, drank some beers, etc. And then the next night, we have a little showcase of Ajax Racing, which is the race team that our driver drives for.
Yes. And our driver was there.
And she was there as one of the other drivers. And so it's like we are her only sponsor, but also some of our sponsorship money goes into the race team as a whole. So we are a partial sponsor for the whole race team. So obviously we just love those kiddos. So we're just invested in how they do. And so we had Jackson and Maria, and Jackson's dad, who is like team manager, basically team owner, team manager, thought that since we were going to do an event that he would go ahead and bring their quarter midgets out to the campsite for us to set up and display. So we had those up on tables, and it was the coolest thing.
I mean, at one point they're like, "Do you guys want them up front?" And I was like, "These are the showstoppers."
Yeah.
If I could put them in the middle of the road, I would, but I won't. I want to.
I want to.
It was great.
It was great. I mean, because we had people that we had told about it, and then there were just strangers that were walking down, and they're like, "Holy shit, there are real race cars right here." Yeah,
so they stopped, talked to the kids, asked the kids questions, which was amazing. Amazing for the kids to be like, "Yeah, this is where I race, da da da."
It was great, and they had hero cards, and there were so many people asking them for their autograph with the hero cards, and they had stickers, and it was just, I mean, it just couldn't have been better.
It really couldn't. Well, excuse me. I believe both children said it was 99 out of 100.
That is true. That is true. It could have. There are a few ways it could have been a little bit better, but
not for lack of trying, and not for lack of not only just the people who were tootling around, but we kind of had some VIP.
We had some special guests. We had some special guests. So Colton Herta rolled up with his dad, and that was
Sorry. That
that
was
was
an unexpected, and it was just the funniest moment when they were gonna get their picture taken with Colton, and we were all like,
I
"Don't
was
you
like,
want Brian,
you might
his
want to
dad?"
get his dad in that picture too,
And
and they
Brian
don't know who Brian Hurd
Herta's
is.
like, "I'm not that cool. It's fine." And I
He's
was like,
I'm old now. It's cool. It's yeah.
meanwhile, the rest of us are like, "You're still cool to us."
You're still cool to us, Brian. We love you. But yeah, so Colton Herta was our unexpected guest. So that was awesome. And then our invited guests, of course, Meyer Shank
course.
Racing.
Jack and Mike and Maddie, and I never remember the other guy's name.
Never do. I never do. And I
Never
feel
do.
so bad about it.
Next time, I'm just gonna be like, "Look, dude, I'm horrible
Always
at
has
names.
this
Tell me
hard
your name."
card tucked in. Yeah, you're gonna have to ask.
I'm gonna have to just do the like, "Hey, I suck at names."
You know,
Who
we'll just
are
ask Maddie. We'll ask Maddie what his name was.
around the back way? Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
but they stopped by, and oh god, that whole team is just
They're just the best.
they're just like they talked with like Mike talked with they all talked with the kids and with Eric and like showed interest in what they were doing and how they were doing. And
I mean, Mike Shank had like a conversation with Eric, like team owner to team owner, even though Eric is team owner of, you know, of a team that consists of his two boys and his friend's daughter, you know, and it's quarter midgets and then the next class up for Alex and, you know, and Mike Shank is part owner of an IndyCar team, but literally like talking to him like they're on the same level. And it's just,
like
that's what I love about Mike Shank.
Yes. And like he's so genuine and like talked to the kids, asked the kids for like hero car and like it just
asked them how their seasons were going, wanted to know their stats. I mean, just
a lot to the kids.
Just awesome. Yeah, it was cool. And yeah, Jack Harvey asked him all kinds of cool questions. And then we later found out that there are all kinds of things he doesn't know. Like he didn't know what a 40 was.
He didn't know that beer could skunk.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he wasn't familiar with that. Just so many things. He likes spotted cow. In his words, I thought we were friends.
Yeah, and then he talked a little shit about my Guinness too, and well,
did talk some shit. Well, he did just say it was heavy for all day, and I'm like, well,
it's true.
I mean, you're the only person. You didn't know what was?
Like how we drink. It's an economic choice.
Oh yeah, our fiscally smart choice in beer. He was like, "You're gonna judge me, but you're drinking this." It's like, well, it's because we're frugal. But yeah, hilarious. And speaking of 40s, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the 40, Mike Ford. He and Angie came out, and oh my gosh, he talked to the kids for what, at least a half an hour, and they were just, just glued and they were locked every word. Oh my gosh, they were every word that came from his mouth. They were just soaking up.
Honestly, he was kind of like Moses. Just here's the rules, children. And they were just both like, okay, you can lead us from the desert.
Right? Like part the sea, we're with you.
Yep. Like they probably would have followed him into battle at that moment. If he's like, come on, kids, let's go take a campsite. They'd be like, all right, let's go.
They will never take our freedom.
But yes. No, thank you, 40. And when Doug and Beth stopped by, Doug actually they showed he talked with Erica about the cars, and the kids showed him the cars, and he talked with the kids too. So I mean, again, that's why our series is the best.
It really is, because at the end of the day, we're all just race fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all started out at some track somewhere seeing cars go fast and thinking that it was really fucking cool.
Yep.
Like that's the start. Now how you got to that track, that's where it differs.
Yeah. But we all got there.
We all got to a track and saw a fast car, and we were like, that is fucking awesome.
I want to see more of that.
I want to see more of that. I want to go fast.
So
So I mean, just couldn't have asked for a better night on Saturday, other than the few things that we discussed with our drivers.
Yes. And
Um,
as I explained to one of them, I can't control people.
yeah, we only have so much control. Okay, people were invited. Not everybody that was invited showed up. Uh, but yeah, it was a great time.
It
A
was
great time.
great.
Which I've still got to get the video out. Obviously, we're a little late dropping this week. I've had work and doctor's appointments and things, and well, Molly, it seems like you had like a 3-day long migraine.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
Duck.
just found out yesterday that Nurtec, on the side of Krishan's car, is a migraine medicine.
Is it prescription only, or can I just like walk up to like a booth somewhere at the next race and be like, "Hey, y'all got some Nurtec?"
No, it's prescription. Have you ever? Are your migraines like more towards your forehead?
No.
That's unfortunate, because if they were, you could get insurance to pay for Botox.
Damn.
I know, right? So like maybe you do have some pain
they
between
are.
your eyes.
Maybe I mean, yes.
Yeah,
All,
maybe you have some pain
the
between your
headaches.
eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
be
putting it
young
out there.
forever.
That's how you get insurance to pay for Botox. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
That's a joke.
A joke. So, but I do still have to put our video together. But you can find our video on our social media, as you can with pretty much everything else. So you can check out all of our social media. You can listen to our podcast, go directly to different podcast hosting sites, read Molly's blog, contact us, pretty much everything under the sun from our website, which is www.fastcarsfastgirls.com. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. We are on all of the things, and we're available anywhere that you like to listen to podcasts. And if you have found a podcast hosting app that does not have us, let us know. We'll be sure to change that right away. Now, when you listen, make sure that we'll put it on there. Make sure that you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And while you're at it, go ahead and give us a like, write us a review, throw 5 stars up there. You don't have to mean it.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. I mean, we're just blatantly asking you, like, give us 5.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just make up some bullshit.
Yeah.
If you listen to us, you're a bullshitter, okay? You can't bullshit a bullshitter.
No.
Just throw some shit up there.
Yeah.
If you listen to this podcast, you're one of us. You're our kind of people, so you know what to do.
Yep. Do it.
Do it.
Right. So I think at this point we gotta wave the white flag.
Yeah, so my white
got?
flag, I'm gonna ask you, what was your favorite part of the weekend?
Jesus, John Hurst.
I know.
No, I think the Saturday night event with the kids was definitely just the highlight. I mean, everything was great, but that was just very special for the kids, and I'm glad that we got to do that.
I am too. That was so special. That was really cool.
What's your answer to your white flag question?
There were so many great moments, but the moment that stands out the best is, as in the group message, I had just woken up, and then I start to read some hangry texts from those of you who were holding spots on the hill. Yeah, and
we were holding the wall.
You were holding the wall, and I was like, holy shit, I just woke up. And I'm like, give me 20. And I'm like, okay, Abby's morning routine starts now. I'm like, I grab a cold caffeine, and that's why when you got back, I was like, I drank your other one. I needed both. Like, I didn't even have time for coffee. Somebody was like, we're taking food up and coffee. And I was like, hold on, I have Molly's specific mug. And I was like, I want you to use 2 cups and only run a half a cup of water with each. I'm like, making sure they're making your coffee and they're like, does she want anything in it? And I'm like, no, she wants it black like her soul.
Throw it back at you.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, you're not gonna get up there with her branded cup with her name on it with some cream and motherfucking sugar in her coffee to ruin it. Oh hell no, hell to the no.
No, that's because I woke up at 7 a.m. to angry texts too, so I get the urgency. I didn't even have coffee before I ran up there.
I know. Which is why I was like, this is imperative.
Yes,
like, it's
you
not
will
optional.
kill people.
she will kill people. And so anyhow, I didn't realize that the anger was at the other people who'd been awake and not me because I had just woken up. Like nobody expected me to be on the wall, but I was like, I'm getting yelled at. Like, okay, cool. Like, let me just get my shit together. Let me apply new red lipstick. All right, the waterproof mirror. Like, check my makeup in the mirror. The waterproof mascara is still good. The eyeliner's still good. All right, throw on some fresh sunscreen. Throw the camera in. Grab the scanner. Like, I mean, 25 minutes. I was ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
And and then we get a text from Ray and Jim, and they're like, the bar's open. And I'm like, yo, if Molly comes back from the hill on the keyhole and like she finds me drunk drinking Bloody Marys at Jim and Ray's, she's gonna fucking kill me. Yeah, I was like, this is how I die. This is how this chapter ends. This is how I die. Molly kills me at Mid Ohio. And so I was like,
Bloody Mary.
Over Bloody Marys. Yeah. She's like, not only does she not have coffee, now I'm drinking Bloody Marys without her. Oh no. So I send coffee up the hill. They send food up the hill. I get the text about the bar. I think it was not directed. I think for whatever reason you weren't included. It was like me and Ray and Jim. And I was like, Molly's on the hill. I'm going to offer relief. Do not have time to stop, but would appreciate delivery Bloody Marys. And I sent it kind of as a joke. And the next thing I know, here comes Jim. Driving over, walking up the hill. He's got a cooler. He's got Dixie cups. He's got
fixins.
He's got ice. Yeah, he had fixins. And then he's got a jar, or a jug really, that was already pre-mixed with the vodka. So all you had to do was give her a shake, pour it over the ice. I mean, he brought ice like for the cups, not to keep things cold. Like, and they were good. It was a new mix.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, Sacramento.
Yes, that's it. Yes, and like I brought it up there, and then he stayed for a while too. He's like, I mean, since I'm up here, because like the ladder series was racing, so we were like, I mean, cars are on track, so
right. I'm like, I still have my radio, so I'm like, I'm listening to some of the ladder series, and yeah, I mean, there was plenty going on. But yeah, so I think that was the moment that really stands out is the delivery Bloody Mary service.
Yes.
Yeah, and he made a joke like, "We'll work for tips." Yeah. That and I'm gonna have to say, you listen to Steely Dan, you can handle it.
You can.
What's that from?
Right now.
Right now. Oh, so those two moments are my favorite. And if you didn't get that second moment, well, it's because you weren't included.
Okay.
But the delivery Bloody Marys, that was
legit.
Perfection. It was legit.
Yeah.
It really was. So, yeah. I guess after all that, we can probably wave the checkered.
Alrighty. Also, way to go, Tatiana Calderon, and your test with AJ Foyt Racing.
Yeah, she had a test at Mid Ohio, correct?
Yes, Tuesday.
And they did not reveal the exact data, but they did say that her speeds were competitive.
Yeah, it sounded like she had a great test, so we'll see what happens next year.
Hell yeah. I would love to see that.
Oh my god, same as these. Okay, now we can wave the checkered. I just want to be like, also, way to go, girl.
Get it, girl. LFG, get some.
LFG. All right,
that's it. Oh, and to anybody who has seen the pictures of us in the jersey shirts that are for Maria, our driver. They obviously have Fast Cars, Fast Girls all over them as well, including with Maria's number. And some of our sponsors and the Pain Tour, etc. Some other just sponsors of the team. If you are interested in purchasing one, drop us a note via the website. Because I will be happy to make another order. We have some that the manufacturing was just a little bit off, so we have some that are going to be on the sale rack. And then if you want one that is not on the sale rack, I will be making another order after this next one arrives.
And the net proceeds. The net profits.
Basically everything except what we pay goes to Ajax Racing, and
in fact, the ones that we sold over this past weekend went to buy a piece.
I was like 100% of what we sold this weekend actually went to them.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, and it specifically went to a piece that was broken on the car this weekend that Maria even showed us. She was like, "Yeah, this was from when I got in that crash." And now that part is fixed.
Because we
And that is
sold
actually
shirts.
thanks to Kenny and Diane
Yep.
and Nate. So
Yeah.
yeah, so thank you guys very much for buying some jerseys. So anybody else who wants one, just let us know. Again, through the website, fastcarsfastgirls.com. You can get it in pink or red. So those are your choices, and we have every size imaginable.
Yes.
Yep. So
Okay.
all right.
Now we can wave the checkered.
Now we can wave the checker. Now we're officially done. All right. Thanks for listening.
Bye.